The Bitcoin Pizza Story, a tale as old as Bitcoin itself, pretty much. This is one of those stories that made you glad you bought Bitcoin at the time, or didn't, and are now going to get serious FOMO from it. With me, I'm in the latter camp. Hello, welcome to Brainspill, the laziest show on the internet. My name is Tank, and today is one of those stories which either you've heard it because it's quite well known, or that you have never heard it or you don't care. Either way, it is a pretty startling story. It's a tale of, pretty much, the early bird catches the worm, or in this case, you trade out the worm for a pizza. For the uninitiated among you, Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency without a central bank or single administrator, which can be sent from user to user using peer-to-peer Bitcoin networks without the need of any intermediaries. Transactions are verified through a network called the blockchain. So thank you very much Wikipedia for that very concise statement. Before seeing this digital asset plastered everywhere, Bitcoin was originally a concept on how currency could be used and operate in the future. You could basically mine coins with a laptop CPU, and it was mostly a group of budding tech geeks and engineers spooling over the ever-growing question of how to operate a decentralized ledger. This at the time was truly a look into the future, but at the time this was very, very new technology, and many people didn't even know what a Bitcoin was at the time. And the first people in the know would very shortly have the first blockchain up and running, where to actually get a Bitcoin, all you pretty much needed to do was press a button, and you would get a single Bitcoin. Yes, that was actually a thing back when Bitcoin first started. You could literally print money. The coins could be mined but had no real use case at the time. No established company or merchant was going to accept a digital asset that nobody had ever heard of. How much was this thing worth? What's the utility? What's the use case? These were all questions that needed to be solved, and one man tried to help establish that idea, called Laszlo Hanyecz, who had some coins of his own, each being worth, at the time, about $0.004. So, in order to try and establish a use case for this brand new currency, with nothing else like it ever being used before, Laszlo decided to make a post on an online forum called Bitcoin Talk on the 18th of May 2010 to pose the following idea. I'll pay 10,000 Bitcoins for a couple of pizzas. Like maybe 2 large ones, so I have some left over for the next day. I like having leftover pizza to nibble on later. You me both, buddy. You me both. You can make the pizza yourself and bring it to my house or order it for me from a delivery place. But what I'm aiming for is getting food delivered in exchange for Bitcoins, where I don't have to order or prepare it myself. Kind of like ordering a breakfast platter at a hotel or something. They just bring you something to eat and you're happy. This is crazy, preposterous. So preposterous, in fact, that it might just work. I like things like onions, peppers, sausage, mushrooms, tomatoes, pepperoni, etc. Just standard stuff, no weird fish topping or anything like that. I also like regular cheese pizzas, which may be cheaper to prepare or otherwise acquire. If you're interested, please let me know and we can work out a deal. This post online would be the precursor to the very first transaction using Bitcoin, an actual use case for this new currency that nobody had ever heard of before, something that we have grown so synonymous with today. At first, it did take a little bit of time to find a seller near the Florida area, or someone who would be willing to buy a pizza for him in exchange for Bitcoin. One user comments that 10,000 Bitcoin was quite a lot and suggested he could sell them on the market for about $41 at the time, which is a fair estimation, I guess, of what you should expect to pay for pizza. No need for cheating people out of good money now, is there? Laszlo then commented saying the following. So nobody wants to buy me pizza? Is the Bitcoin amount I'm offering too low? So this is the point where I have to put my head in my hands and think, why on earth didn't I listen to those internet basement dwellers at the time? Because yes, I was a nerd too, but I wasn't so much so that I had an intimate knowledge of what this Bitcoin thing actually was. People would say, invest in Bitcoin, not financial advice by the way, but whenever I was told this, I was like, go away with your crazy internet money. Yeah, if only I knew. Yeah, my friend, I would give you a pizza for $40 if you were going to give me that much Bitcoin back then. I think it would be a pretty wise trade. Then, on the 22nd of May 2010, a post went up where Laszlo confirmed that a deal had been made with a user called Jekos, who made the trade for Papa John's Pizza of all things, making this the first purchase of Bitcoin for a good or service, and the start of something truly revolutionary. The trade went ahead. Laszlo got his pizzas and he paid 10,000 Bitcoin. And his daughter was pretty happy too, which is cute and all, but hindsight's a funny thing, given that he paid 10,000 Bitcoin for this. At least at the time, everybody was happy with what they got at the end of this trade. At the time, at least. This offer was extended to anybody that wanted to buy Laszlo Pizza, but he soon withdrew the offer only a few months later when the asset started to gain traction and the price of Bitcoin accelerated. No man wants to spend thousands of dollars on pizza. You know, most people anyway, unlike the people that bought the incredibly expensive pizzas in my other video, the world's most expensive pizza. You know what, you can check that one out too at the end of this video. Wink wink. So, if Bitcoin was worth $50,000 and you still had 10,000 Bitcoin, that pizza would have been worth $500 million. And yes, I could have clickbaited the title of the video and said man eats $500 million pizza, which technically would have been correct. But the reality at the same time is that this pizza was worth about $40. And quite frankly, nobody had any idea that Bitcoin would become the monumental success that it has done just within a year or so of this happening. For Laszlo, he had just given away 10,000 Bitcoin. He got some pizza for it, and there may be an argument to be made that that probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. But he was making history. He had purchased the first good item or service using Bitcoin, and that would be the start of something truly great. He has been making history. However, my question is, does Laszlo regret it? Years later, Laszlo was asked this very question, and his answer was that he doesn't like to think about it. He doesn't like to think about what he spent and what Bitcoin is now worth. And I think for anybody in that position, they would have given the exact same answer, because you can't really think about that. It's done. It's paid. That's it. You know what I mean? Just think about how many Papa John's pizzas you could have bought for $500 million. Yeah, I can imagine a fair few. Well, Laszlo has admitted that after the purchase of these pizzas, he started to go all in and made a number of other trades using Bitcoin. In all, he estimated that he spent 100,000 Bitcoin on a number of items, most of which was pizza. But as a pioneer, he deserves all the damn pizza he can afford. To mark this event, the 22nd of May is marked as Bitcoin Pizza Day. Truly, an event to mark in the calendar, people. Funny, it's almost the reason why this video is being released, I believe, on the same day. Just a coincidence, I'll have you know. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to be notified as soon as I upload my next video, be sure to hit the bell button. And if you've got any ideas for what topics you'd like me to discuss next, let me know down in the comments below. As always, sources used in the video will be in the description. So, my advice is you hodl that pizza. You hodl that pizza hard, and you never sell pizza, regardless of how much a single pizza's worth. You have diamond hands, people. Keep that pizza. Or something like that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Fantastic.